Welcome everybody back to another episode of WWTF. We Want the Facts, the gaming show. I'm Fred White.
And I'm Mike C.
Hey, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about a rumor mill that's going around concerning a Dreamcast coming back to life.
Okay, Dreamcast 2, huh?
And on today's show, welcome back a guest that we had on our show before, Harold. How's it going, Harold?
Hey, it's doing good, guys. Thanks for having me.
What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a good idea, really. Considering what's out on the market now, maybe they focus less on downloadable content like these newer systems are, and they just put everything on the disc. Maybe they could try that approach with it. I think that would be a good way to do it. But if they're doing the same thing as the PS4, and the Xbox One, there's no point. I mean, those two systems are great. This needs to do something on its own to work. It has to be unique. It has to have its own thing.
Is there really room for another console?
That's really up in the air because it just depends. What can it do? What's its advantages? You got the Wii U. It has an awesome gamepad, but game-wise, the quality, it could be a little better. Xbox One and the PS4, amazing, spectacular graphics, great gameplay. It just looks beautiful. But you get the same thing on the PS4 that you do the Xbox One. It's the same daggone game. It looks the same downloadable content. If this system wants to compete, it needs to do something to bring in new people. Say, hey, you need to get me because I'm doing this different. That's what it needs to do.
I love the Dreamcast when it came out. Actually, it was ahead of its time.
Right.
It was actually the second console to have online gameplay. Other than a lot of people don't remember this, but the Sega Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Had a online cartridge. Yeah.
That's
and
right.
you could play online
That's right.
with it. So
I remember that, yeah.
Sega was ahead of its time back in the day. Now I'm going to say that Sega, the sound card on it, I really didn't like it.
Okay.
When it was competing with the Super Nintendo, I really didn't like it. You had better sound coming out of the Super Nintendo versus the Sega. Even with the Sega Master Systems, the Nintendo had the better sound.
Okay, better quality.
But then when it came out with the Dreamcast or the Saturn or even Sega CD, once they started putting those games on disc, it had a better quality than the other consoles. So, are you looking forward to another Dreamcast coming up?
If it's anything like the first one, yes. The first Dreamcast was an awesome system and spawned some great games, but at the time it was too late for that because they already had the failure with the Sega Saturn. Then before that, you had the monstrosity of the Sega CD, and Sega 32X.
Yeah.
And if anybody play on that 32X, I think it's pure garbage. I have one sitting right behind me, and I refuse to touch that thing.
Yeah, I got the 32X, and I never bought a game from it. I just rented stuff from Blockbuster for it. The little add-ons, little Sonic, whatever. So that was a waste. Man, that was just money for Sega for nothing, basically.
Yeah, I was actually hyped up for it, man, because I got it, and I think the only game that I had on it was Mortal Kombat and Doom. But it was the same graphics to me, though.
Same game.
Well, the thing with Doom on the 32X that was really unique, I'll just touch on this real quick, it wasn't the complete game, they cut it short, and if you used a cheat, the game would stop after, I think it was level 16, it would just do a complete soft lock, but they cut out the Cyber Demon, they cut out all the sound quality, it's very inferior to anything. Even the Super Nintendo version of Doom kicks that version's butt.
I think the downfall for them was letting Microsoft get involved in the production of the Dreamcast because they actually had to use their chip.
Okay.
And Microsoft said, well, if you want to use our chip, we got to know the innards of your system. And if you look at the Xbox and the Dreamcast side by side, you're looking at almost the same system.
Okay.
Because both of them have the 4 controller ports. Both of them have the memory slots inside of the controllers. I mean, Microsoft really screwed them on that one, man.
Right. And
I wish they would have stuck around because they were ahead of the game when they were out, and they would have probably done so much better than what the PS4 and the Xbox is doing now. But Microsoft, they They screwed them over, man. In my opinion, you know.
And on the Dreamcast, one of the best sports games ever released is on that system, NFL 2K. It is one of the most fluid football games you will ever play.
And I think the 2K series, matter of fact, was better than Madden.
Yeah.
In the EA Sports stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I just want to see him come back. I really do want to see him come back. So if they doing a Kickstarter program for them, man, I hope they get it done. I hope they raise up enough money. Now, from what I can tell, it's not being started by Sega. It's privately individuals. So they're starting it up. It's not Sega. So I don't even know if they would have the rights to do this console, would they?
They would have to get the rights from Sega, because Sega still is around, you know what I'm saying, but they focus on third party, but still that's the Sega name, unless it's under Microsoft, then that's a whole nother issue they got to contend with.
So I'm thinking, basically, would it be an emulator or would it be a full-fledged system?
Well, depending on the two things I've seen, I mean, obviously the thing you guys are talking about now, I did see an emulated version of the Sega Dreamcast that is supposed to be sold, but the unique thing about the Dreamcast, and I even hate to say this now, but it's, it's way past its time, so I'm going to drop this out, but the first Sega Dreamcast is not copyright protected. You can play any current Sega game on that system. So emulating it would be super easy if they were to emulate the original, but the whole new Dreamcast 2, so they need to go on par with today and excel, and like I said, bring something unique to the table to attract gamers.
I agree with you on that.
But what would that uniqueness be, though?
That's a good question. If I had an answer, I'd be making that Dreamcast 2. But they need to. Every system's got its unique thing. Xbox, has the Kinect thing. PS4 just has fluid controls. They don't really have anything to draw you in. But in the Wii U, once again, the gamepad, they just need to bring something to life that is different from the other consoles. Because, if I already got an Xbox One and this Dreamcast 2 comes out, and there's nothing different, I'm not going to spend money on it because I can already buy the games for the Xbox One right now.
In my opinion, I would hope that they would bring the system out, man.
They just got to do it right. That's the whole thing. If you want something to succeed, you just got to do it right.
But we almost out of time. But Harold, what's been going on, man? Do you have anything else that you want to say out to the viewers, man? Your speed runs. When the next time you're going through a speed run? I think either Castlevania or Zelda.
The next time I'm doing that, I've been streaming mostly between 7 and 9 p.m. During the week sporadically, but this new job's a little heavy. And then on the weekends, I do stream a lot more. It's very random depending on what's going on during the day. But I'm still working on getting second place on Legend of Zelda. Now, since last time I was on here, the record holder of Zelda, Lag Attack 24 on Twitch, he got the first sub 30-minute run of Legend of Zelda. He got 29:56.
Wow.
And it's flop. It can be beat, but it requires a lot of luck. Second place is still at 30:16 by Northwing Doug SDA, and then I have the third place at 30:53. And I'm still trying to get the time down, but there's just so much randomness that occurs in a Zelda run. Castlevania, the record was just brought down to 11:41. Which is a phenomenal run, but it has a mistake. It can be beat. By me, no, it ain't gonna happen. It's just, I'm not that good at it. But those two games, I've been focusing on the most. And if you guys want to catch me on my Twitch sometime, the channel name is Can't Out Fat Me. Do not let the name fool you. It is a video game channel. It's a lot of fun on there, and it's a blast. We have a good chat. I got almost 600 followers now. Come in, join, have a good time. We interact, have a lot of fun.
All right, thanks, Harold. But that's all the time we got for the gaming show, man. So we want to say appreciate Harold for coming on to the show, man. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Anytime, guys. If I'm able, I'll be on.
So we'll see you next time.
Oh, we want the facts?
The gaming show.